November the 1st has come, ladies and gentlemen, and we are about to start the second day of Kelly and Company. Thanks for being with us. Greg David previews the new AMI TV series, Don't Take My Sparkle, following a couple in their journey exploring stem cell treatment. This is for a recent diagnosis. Plus, we'll find out what other TV Greg David is watching during this fall season. Today, it's the debut of Parasport Nation, the brand new AMI sports show where Alex Smyth spotlights upcoming parasports events in Canada and abroad. You know, we've been having a great time launching the show this week and being back. Welcome to our YouTube audience, the folks listening in on AMI audio and downloading the podcast. Please, lots of places to enjoy and consume the program. Subscribe wherever you can. But we can't promote the show and get some of those things done to make you aware of what's happening without the help of a very special person joining our team. If you don't know her yet, you'll get to know her on the show. Let's meet and greet as Nisreen Abdel-Majid, our technical producer and social media extraordinaire. Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. It's great to be back on the Kelly and Company show. It just gave me throwback memories of how it all started.
So when it started for you was when you were basically in here as a student working on the show, for those who
Yes.
may not remember, and we'd get you on, we'd get working with you. I know for me as a student in broadcast school, every darn thing that we did new gave you anxiety and was just so fresh.
hmm
But you had the opportunity that I didn't, to actually work at a broadcaster and get real-time, real-life experience. When you look back
Yeah.
now, how much did it make things better?
Oh my God, so much better. I love the hands-on experience. That's how I learn. I learn through hands-on for sure, not by paper. So just being part of AMI and learning through going through that experience as an intern really expanded my knowledge. It really gave me opportunity that I never could have imagined.
Right, right.
So it's been great. Yeah.
Tell the audience a little bit more about you. Who the heck are you? I mean, besides this
Who the
person who has to
heck am
tolerate our theme. Yeah, what's that all about?
Well, on AMI, I'm an audio technical producer and now a social media guru. Like, what do you call me? Social media. I wouldn't say expert, but you know, I have some
Extraordinaire is what
skill set.
we've been saying lately because
Extraordinaire.
we've been
Let's
getting
go with
heck for
that.
saying guru.
Yeah, I think it's too much. So if you see some postings on Kelly and Company, you know that I'm behind the scenes trying to make you laugh, and I love that flexibility. I love that. It's really exciting to be doing that social media aspect because I just love posting stuff. So I'm an audio technical producer by day and a DJ by night.
Now let's get into that one. How long have you been DJing, and where do you mostly do it? Like weddings, clubs, fill everyone in.
I've been DJing for almost 5 years now. It's crazy to say that out loud. But I mostly do weddings, bridal showers, and some like whether it's New Year's parties, birthday parties. I go all around, but it's been mainly like for the summertime, it's mainly wedding season. Obviously, so it's weddings every weekend. It gets crazy in the summertime, but the fall it's more like bridal showers and smaller parties. The wintertime, it's a mixture of both. And I've honestly, I love smaller parties than bigger parties. I love bridal showers and those type of those types of like small birthday parties rather than huge weddings. I feel like that it's just more chill, it's more relaxed rather than weddings, it's somebody's big day. So there's so much pressure to make sure everything's perfect. And you deal with a lot of bridezillas and mother-in-law zillas and stuff like
Man, we
that.
should make a
So there's,
movie on that. Brides of, oh
oh,
yeah, that would be good. I know there was a Bridezilla, I know that, but having
Kelly,
the story told from the
yeah.
DJ avenue, wow. I want you to do this. I want this play. Do that. Play both at the same time. Come on, do that. Uh, um, would you have wanted to DJ your own wedding, which recently happened?
I did actually.
Oh,
I
oh,
did. I mean, not the
did you
whole
hire
wedding,
yourself?
obviously, but I I ended up asking the DJ to kind of scoot over, and I ended up DJing a part like a half hour of the wedding, and everybody was dancing around the DJ booth, and everybody was hyping me up while I was DJing. And I just wanted a video or a picture of me. That was my dream, in my wedding dress and DJing. And
Oh,
I got that. Like I got that video, I got those pictures, and it was like a dream come true because I always wanted to see how I would look like on my wedding day DJing my own wedding.
oh.
Obviously, I couldn't DJ the whole party, of
No,
course.
no, that
That's
would have
just
probably brought
insane.
some kind of resistance and probably some, "Oh, now, come, come." You wouldn't have got fedoras off for that, for pulling that stunt,
Uh-uh.
that's for sure.
Uh-uh.
Oh, man.
No, but it
Uh,
was so much fun.
Before we move on, I gotta ask, because on the program, as we talked Halloween yesterday, we learned of your fear of clowns. What's that all about?
Mm. Is it called colorophobia? Yeah,
Something
it's a
like
real
that,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's actually real. I have a fear of clowns. This is no joke. It's so bad. I think it all started when I was a kid, when I was at Sick Kids, and they would bring out clowns so much, and I never found them funny, never found them entertaining. Quite the opposite. I found their smiles so creepy. It's something about the makeup that really you could feel them staring into your soul, and that's how I feel
Oh,
whenever
what
I
a
see a
way to
clown.
put
I'm like,
that.
"Shut up." Yeah,
Wow,
because it's
wow.
I think it's the makeup, it's their smile, it's the way that they look at you, and I can't stand it. I cannot stand it. And the
What
fact
about the
that, like, I
randomness?
went
Like I'm funny about animals, and people used to ask me why, and a lot of it is the sudden movements, the things, the unpredictable that they do, and clowns are like that by nature, to surprise you and to be, quote, "funny," unquote, and also sometimes I don't like they don't talk.
Yeah.
Some of them.
Yeah, and yeah, I absolutely like, as an accessibility issue, for people who are visually impaired or something, like that is something big. Like I don't like that at all. I don't like the unpredictability. Their surprised actions, no. I Everything about them just terrifies me, to the point where I won't watch any movie, any show that has a clown in it.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
if there's an episode with a clown in it, I cannot. I won't sleep at night. Like that's how bad it is. And I went to Halloween Fest in um Wonderland one time, and there was a clown following me since I entered the gate until I left, and he was
Ooh.
following me with an axe, and I was crying that day. I was terrified. I
It's
was
like they
hiding the
know.
whole time.
Zero in
They
on this
know that I'm
child.
scared.
Oh,
Yeah.
man, and I think we do betray that kinda thing. I know for me, I don't have the phobia, I'm not a huge fan for different reasons, but clowns I've always thought can be the scariest, especially if they're doing something and meant to be the darker, but
Mhm.
I know myself, Ronald McDonald, one of our favorite clowns of all time,
Oh my
when I was a
god.
kid, I was excited, ecstatic to get a chance to meet Ronald, and the event that he was at, when I went to meet him, and he shook my hand and said, "Hello, young man." And his voice didn't come out like the smiling Ronald McDonald on the commercial, and it came out more like, "Hello, young man." Oh, that was enough
Oh,
for me to,
no.
and I was heartbroken. I went home depressed and upset, and my parents couldn't understand. It was Ronald. No, it
No.
wasn't Ronald. I'm telling you,
It
it
was
wasn't. Oh, he
No,
didn't
I
sound, he
always
had a
found him
terrible
so
voice.
creepy. You know, when they have statues in front of McDonald's with him sitting on a bench?
Yes.
That creeped me out so much. That creeped me out so much.
Come
I
on
always
in.
found the commercials so creepy.
Have a
Everything
shake.
about it was terrifying. No, I
Nisreen,
would
you want to
avoid
see
that
my axe
bench.
down in the cellar? Come on. Thanks, Niz.
Stop. Thank you guys.
Nisreen is pretty well always here with us. She is our third voice, second voice, depending on the day, time, and weighing in on subjects. So you can get a big warm welcome for her from the team. Of course, you'll hear her on mic, off mic. She's always lurking behind the scenes too on social media. Give her a chat, folks. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter. Speaking of the social media handles, at Kelly and Co. AMI. Always want to hear from you, ladies and gentlemen. Feel free to weigh in. We've got our next guest lurking, and he too kind of has that avenue of marketing communications. Every 2 weeks, Greg David joins us on the program. He is our communication marketing Marcom specialist, really. We're here to talk about everything TV, entertainment. Greg, welcome.
Thanks for having me. And wow, I had no idea. And I thought Nisreen was, I was kind of laughing when she was talking about being scared of clowns and then quickly realized how serious she was. And I understand, I totally understand that. The thing that freaks me out is at the Santa Claus parade, the clowns that walk on their hands, they're
Alongside,
walking around.
oh,
Mm.
Yeah, with that kind of plaster head, they have always bothered me. I've never liked them.
I will say I've probably been very pleased on my vision, the lack of, because of that, because I think there's so many things that clowns do that I'm just like, no. And it's really interesting how guide dogs too. A lot of time people, well, probably dogs in general, dogs are
Yeah,
not a big fan, and that could be quite disturbing at an event. It's not just noise, it's the look of something too. Greg,
yeah.
let's get a quick preview out of you that we've got a new AMI TV series coming out. Don't Take My Sparkle. Will you share with us what this series is about and when can we look for it?
Yeah, absolutely. It debuts next Thursday, November the 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can check it out on AMI TV or you can stream it anytime on AMI Plus. And this is a really interesting one. We've worked with Ardra Shepherd, who is a member of the multiple sclerosis community over the last couple of years, and she's got a podcast called Tripping on Air. But this TV show follows somebody who has multiple sclerosis, and her name is Linda Blackwell, and she's been diagnosed with MS, and it's a six-part documentary series where Linda and her partner Tim Tester are exploring ways to combat the disease. And they're seeking advice. And as you said off the top of the show, going down that avenue and exploring the costs of stem cell treatment, possible stem cell treatment, and what that might entail, whether they need to go, elsewhere in North America for that kind of treatment, or perhaps overseas. Um, I've seen the first two episodes of the show. Linda is hilarious and funny, in the face of what she's going through, and she just kind of, it's no holds barred. They pull back the curtain. She's very honest in how she talks about being able-bodied and how MS has affected her over the years steadily. She's able to do less and less. She has a home care worker that comes and helps her do a lot of things. Tim helps her do things as well. But the thing that's never changed is her unwavering humor. There are
Mhm.
tears shed in the first two episodes, obviously, that I think people can relate to. But we're really interested in hearing what people have to say because she's a big personality, and this is a really interesting show and something that we've never done on AMI TV before.
No. People familiar with AMI over the years may recognize Tim and Linda's names from associate from years gone by. Really
Right.
wonderful. This has been brought to us, and being able to get that honest portrayal. Like I think, Greg, we've all got an opportunity. When I certainly did Blindsided and the work I did with AMI this week, I got to hear a lot of stories, got to share a lot, got to share with people my own life experiences as we get the opportunity here to do. But there is so much more that goes on, and the gods, the faiths out there, whatever you most believe in, the roads they take us down. I think one of the obligations it seems that we have, and not everybody's meant to do this, but share and be a teacher, be open about it, and it takes a certain quality such as Linda's.
Yeah, and also I think there's a little bit of controversy in the show as well. When you talk about stem cell treatment, it doesn't always work for everybody. I don't really even understand how it works. And that's why I'm looking forward to seeing more episodes of the show. And there's that question that she's battling, like she's convinced that she wants to walk again. So I want to ask you this question, Kelly. If the technology was out there and the advances in science right now, if you could have full sight again, would you go for it or would you
Oh
stay the
man.
way that you are now?
I know some people say they wouldn't because in my case, I've never had full, but I've had enough that I definitely believe I have a perception of what it would be if I was privileged enough to be able to get it.
Right.
People might say this late in your life, would you want to do it? And I think the only thing I would stop and think about is there how much risk? And not that it fails. My vision right
Mm,
now, it's at the point where I will lose everything. So that's the road I'm going, whether I lose it now or in 2 years fully. I may even be gone now, but my belief I still have, oh, I can see a little more than light. Yeah, sure
yeah.
you can. But I think as long as there wasn't a health jeopardy. Oh yeah, we could do this. And the chances of you getting sight are 50%, but the chances of you having a health issue, an infection, something that could kill you or maim
Mhm.
you, are very great. That I don't think I would be taking the chance at this point in life. I think if I felt at my age, maybe that was even likely more to compromise. I probably wouldn't. But what I'm interested, Greg, too, is as you talk about the series, it sounds like we get more of that medical aspect and walk through, because as you say, a lot of us don't know about stem cell research. We don't unless it affects us, and even if it does or potentially could help some of us, we hear it a lot with vision stuff. We don't know what really to expect.
Yeah, and I think that's a really good point. And for even for those people that don't know much about MS, Linda, discusses everything that her body has been going through. The fact that a lift is now being used, that Tim has that cranks her up so that she can get in and out of a chair. Obviously everything that goes along with when you're in the bathroom and those things that you can't do anymore. I think
Yeah.
one of the more touching moments for me was when the two of them went swimming, and the pool that they visit, she was able, they have a lift so that Linda was lifted in and out of the pool. But once she was in the pool, the freedom that she had, MS attacks the limbs, and you lose the control of your limbs. But for her to be able to float with a little bit of help from Tim, you could see the tears streaming out of the corners of her eyes, because she was floating and felt truly free, as
Yes.
opposed to when she's on land and how MS affects your joints and your limbs. So yeah, I think that this is going to elicit a lot of discussion, and certainly a lot of reaction as well.
When's it on, sir?
Yeah, so again, it debuts Thursday, November the 7th at 9 p.m. Eastern. You can check it out on AMI TV, or you can watch it anytime, episodes on AMI Plus, which is AMIPLUS.ca.
In a couple of moments, sir, let's just discuss a little bit about this new fall TV series. Conventional TV networks have it for you, like ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox. Which newbies have caught your eye?
The ones that have caught my eye right off the top are two shows, Matlock and NCIS Origins. Spoke to you a little bit a while ago about Matlock and how this was kind of a spin-off, or inspired by the original Matlock from the 1980s. This stars Kathy Bates, Oscar winner Kathy Bates, in her first, well, not her first TV role, but her first TV role on conventional television, and she plays Madison Matlock, or Maddie, and she's 70 something, and she kind of worms her way into working at a law firm. And not only is she great, but the folks that have created and written this show are really really smart. It's smart and snappy dialogue, as Maddie is showing her skills, even though she's 70 years old. She's got all this experience and is showing the young bucks at this legal firm how to do things. Jason Ritter is a co-star on this show, and he's great as
Nice.
well. Very very funny. So there are very serious moments, but there are very lighthearted moments in Matlock as well. And there's a really big twist in the first episode of the show that really explains why Maddie is doing what she's doing, because she kind of comes out of nowhere and starts working at this firm. So why is she interested in working at this firm and interacting with these people? You find out at the end of the first episode. And the ratings have been so good for this one. Only 2 episodes have been out so far, Kelly, on CBS, that we've got a full season, full second season order of Matlock. So the ratings have
Very
been
good.
there. Yeah, yeah. I mean, obviously things have changed a lot when it comes to ratings, and we don't
Oh,
have those
sure.
ratings on
Yep.
conventional TV like we used to. But it's so good that they said, "Yeah, let's give you another season of this show to work out and find more about Maddie and what she's all about."
A buddy of mine who liked the original series gave a thumbs up on it. So wonderful, Greg. Thanks a lot, man. We'll talk to you in a couple of weeks.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Kelly.
Greg David, he is our communication specialist at AMI and is totally addicted to television. We'll talk to him, as I mentioned, in 2 weeks on the program. If you want to send a message in, email us at kellyco@ami.ca. Would love to hear from you folks. Anytime you get a moment, do so. I'd like to welcome in Alex Smyth. On Power Sport Nation, a brand new AMI sports show, Alex Smyth spotlights upcoming parasport events in Canada and abroad. Give us that nation thing, that feel. A lot of pulling back the curtain on how parasports are played, interviews parasport athletes, coaches, and trainers. Parasport Nation is part of this program, and of course, it'll be on following our shorter editions on Tuesdays and Fridays of our show, and will also be available as a standalone podcast and video podcast on YouTube. Alex joins us now to chat about today's upcoming show in a few moments. But before getting to it, Alex, tell us honestly, real brief, because it's a short conversation, what's it like to work with the senior producer, Jeff Ryman? Now, we want the truth on this one.
No, Jeff is great. I mean, I've had the chance to work with him during our time together on Now, and now I get to team up with him on Parasport Nation. I'm excited about it. It was one of those things. I reached out to him about the idea. So if any issues do arise, it's my own fault because I actually reached out to him about the idea.
Well, of course, we're in jest because we know what it's like working with Jeff. The eagerness, the excitement, and taking on areas of stuff that he may not have known so much about, grew into, had a wonderful Rolodex, and now you guys are really in your element. So we're going to benefit from the fact that we've got these sports people who are interested in sports telling us the stories and allowing us to meet so many people. The first episode is in a few minutes here on AMI. You can also pull it up on YouTube. What's going on in this first one? Let's get started on kind of running it down, and I have a bunch of questions.
Yeah, so this one was a jam-packed first show that we're going to be putting out. We get to find out a bit about the co-host of the series, Nathan Clement, Paralympian, silver medalist at the Paralympics, three-time world champion. I pick his brain a bit about how he feels post games and post world championships, and we kind of get that ball rolling a bit. And then after that, I was in Halifax last weekend for the Nova Scotia CNIB Open Goalball Tournament. I had a couple of interviews from there, including Peter Parsons, Oliver Pye, and then a pair of brothers who squared off in the gold medal match, Nick and Matt Gentleman. So we
Nice.
will have those three interviews to bring to the audiences for Parasport Nation.
So one of the things that I'm excited the most about the show is the lack of way of learning about different parasports. I'm a huge goalball fan, played for Ontario when I was a youth. So I kind of want to know, when it comes to your exposure now, as you've worked with parasport stuff for a couple of years, but that being immersed in it, how can we make that happen, Alex, via a show like this for everybody? Because so many of us would love to give different parasports a chance when we watch the Paralympics and can't because we just may not know them. And what a frustrating way to watch something you don't understand.
Yeah, so how we want to approach this show, and it's obviously going to be an evolution as we're starting something new. We're not just focused on the high performance side of things. We're also going to be exploring the grassroots side and everything in between. Obviously, we're profiling the Nova Scotia provincial goalball tournament, but in a couple of weeks, I'm going to be profiling Calgary's site night with ASRAB, and that's a very much a grassroots organization led event. So having kind of different pieces and making sure we're not just focused in on one tier of parasport, but we're really catering to everyone. That's how we're going to achieve that. And we're also going to look to bring in some explainers for certain parasports that may not be obvious or people may not be aware of. We're going to try to break down the sport itself when we get the chance. Half an hour is a tight timeline. It's something
Is.
we've learned, but we're excited with that challenge of really capturing and snapshotting parasport as a whole.
Excited to hear that interaction with you and Nathan. You guys will also tee up any events that are coming up, especially qualifiers, or just, hey, you should know that this is happening also.
Yeah, that's part of our PSN update. It's going to be a short, kind of brief update on events that are coming up, maybe some results that have just happened or happened in the last little while. And Nathan kind of spearheads that portion of the program. He does a great job and listing all the great events that people can find out about. And it's not always going to be Canadian centric, but oftentimes there'll be so many different sports taking place involving Canadian athletes. We want to profile it, and so they'll get a mention in there.
Fantastic. Good luck, guys. It'll be wonderful. We will be talking to you next on Tuesday on the show. Good luck with the first one. Take care.
Thank you, Kelly. You too.
That was Alex Smyth joining us. Remember, Parasport Nation is part of Kelly and Company. That's on Tuesdays and Fridays. As we wrap up our show a little earlier, the half-hour edition of our show, it'll also be available as a standalone audio podcast, a video podcast on YouTube, and as mentioned, we'll preview the show on Tuesdays. On Monday, Danielle Johnkind with a segment called You Know You're in the Veterinary Profession When? We'll chat with Arnold Cheng on the show of Spectrum Ability with his experience designing the Calgary Event Center, also known as Scotia Place. And JJ Hunt throws back to celebrating Halloween while traveling, bringing us stories while staying at an Irish youth hostels and upscale Mexican condos. What a contrast. Give us a call on our feedback number, 1-866-509-4545. We want to hear your feedback. Take care, folks. Enjoy your weekend now. Get out of here, will ya?
Thanks for tuning in to Kelly and Company. Follow us on all social media, and don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel for more.